Kevin, it's not difficult to see the disappointment on your face after this evening's result, the 3-1 defeat at Redditch United here this evening. Just try and put that one into words for us if you can.
Again, it's a real slow start from us, isn't it? I think players haven't recognised, talk about the surface you've got to play on and how you have to play on that surface. And we were totally alien from what we set out once we're in that change room at the start of the game. We're trying to pass and play a game that we can play at home, and it wasn't a surface that allowed that to happen. We're loose with the ball to start off with, and put ourselves on the back foot by conceding so early, it's happened too many times this season. I think Gainsborough, I think Barwell, similar thing on a Monday night on a 3G surface where we've not been sharp enough. And credit to Redditch, they keep coming at us. They know how to work the surface well, and we really struggled. We're trying to pass from the back, and it just allowed Redditch to keep getting in our face and make life really difficult for us. And once we started to be a bit more direct and put the ball behind them, there were several moments in the first period where the ball's gone behind and the goalies had to come out and make sort of last-ditch moments where I think, if we'd have been a little bit sharper, we could have got on and possibly scored. But I think second period, when we're obviously able to get into it in the half-time talk and just say, we just need to put the ball in good areas, not overcomplicate our game, and try to play our football in their final third. And when we did that, you look at the corner count first half to second half, and moments and restart moments in and around their penalty area, and there were some moments there that all of a sudden we were getting ahead of steam up and recognising just how to play on there better than we did in the first half. I think, like I say, we're chasing the game a little bit when they scored the second goal. I'd like to see it back, but I think there's a strong possibility that he's offside. But fair play, sticks it away really well, and I think that I'm being told that the third one is possibly a foul on our player as well. But that's that's moving away from the most important thing is managing the game from minute one, and you're chasing the game, and like I say, too often we've been in that situation this season and not understood what's required in that moment. There's plenty of noise before you go out of the change room at the start of the game, but we've lost that on too many occasions this season, right at the very outset, and obviously it's my job to do something about it.
I was going to suggest to you, and it's almost quite obvious in a way that it suggests perhaps that's a bit of a psychological issue, really. The way the players are approaching the game. But then you also said there about playing differently, how you play at home and how you play away from home. I know players will do things like if they know what works, they will stick to what works, but it doesn't work here necessarily what you do at home. So no. that change in that mindset a little bit.
Yeah, and it's a very true surface at home, isn't it, where you can move the ball quickly and you can pass from the back. I think there's real clear evidence in that first period, and certainly being rocked back so early on, where you're trying to pass it, and we end up putting one another into problem positions that just keep giving Redditch encouragement to keep coming forward and pressing. And the thing to do was to try and put the ball behind them and play in their half of the pitch. That's what you need to do. That means being very direct. Then sometimes that has to be the case, and we haven't adapted ourselves anywhere near to the level that I would have expected tonight. I've beat on long and hard about how difficult these 3G services are to play on, and this is a tough one. As I say, when we recognised that and became more direct and contested first phase, second phase, and started to impose ourselves a little bit more on the game, consequently we got more moments. I think a corner count in the second half is probably respectable, but it's not great when you have to keep coming from behind from so early on in the game.
Adaptability was the word that came into my head there when you were speaking about that being able to play to the conditions and play against the opposition. I mean, it must be doubly disappointing because on Saturday you did that against Harborough, and then 48 hours later not able to repeat the same thing again.
Yeah, it is disappointing. You think you've got a bit of a handle on it. Like I say, they are difficult surfaces to play on if you don't do it on a regular basis, and I can't make that an excuse. You've got to get on with it, and to be successful in a league campaign, you've got to go to all places and all surfaces and against various opposition as well. And that's where I need to, as a manager, make sure that we are more understanding and more robust in these situations. And like I say, I think in the second period, we could have got ourselves back in the game now. I think there's lots of half chances. I'd have liked to work the target a little bit more than we did. But credit to the boys that they keep going. We get a goal on the board, but it is only a consolation. Has ultimately meant anything, has it? And it's a difficult place. So yeah, I've got to, as I try to do, keep things in perspective, and I have to take, like I say, my responsibility to do something about it and make sure that we are more understanding of these games and occasions and situations, and able to recognise them and maybe simplify situations for certain players. But look, the players keep going. They're an honest bunch. Sometimes, like I say, need to understand a little bit quicker than perhaps we are.
I was just thinking in terms of, I'm sure people will have their own suggestions as to how things, might change. And I know there's been some suggestion now. I think we're speaking to Nick on the radio about, the possibility of adding to the squad or whatever. But you can't change everybody, and you've got to find some of that change from within, haven't you? It is about that working with the team.
Very much so. Yeah, I think, like I say, Saturday was a strong performance. We knew what to expect. We stood up to it and got through it and take the 3 points. And any game on the road, as Telford know probably as well as anybody recently, they're tough games to win. Any game's tough. They're a capable side there tonight, and we've seen it. I've watched them. I understand what they're all about. But I just think, a certain decision making in certain areas, you'd expect a little bit better off of certain players out there. You'd expect some of the experience we've got in that group to understand what's required out there, to go and be successful. But like I say, you have to give Redditch credit that they've got enough face. They've got themselves in the box seat from a very early point, and made life extremely difficult for us. I don't think we're, like I say, helped with some of the refereeing decisions. But again, that's what you get quite often away from home, and you have to be able to overcome that and show enough resilience to overcome it. So yeah, I really disappointed with that. Like I say, strong travelling support there tonight, and they continue to get behind us throughout, which is like I'm a little bit embarrassed about, because you can ask no more when people get behind you like that and keep singing the way that they do and stay behind us. We can ask no more, and we've let people down there tonight. There's no doubt about that. It's important that we hopefully see a reaction on Saturday.
Kevin, thank you for your time as usual.
Thank you.